Okay, well, welcome back to another unscripted movie review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, oh boy, do I want to go as long as my Northman video? Probably not, because I'm tired, but I do want to get my thoughts out before, I watch any reviews about it, because I want to delve more deep into this later, but I wanted to get my first thoughts out there. First off, this is, without a doubt, the most visually stunning MCU movie ever. Okay? From the first one, Iron Man, to this one right now, it is the best looking one. By far. You know? Yeah, some of the other ones look better, because the one thing I will admit, like looking at it, it always, whenever you put, like, real life people in front of, like, green screen, very intense green screen, it's very noticeable, right? So, like, I was like the very first, like, Iron Man, still, for some god knows reason, they just, because probably more practical effects, but the first Iron Man, like, it just looks so real, like I don't even think about green screen, like, when I look at that movie. It's just so fucking good. That's the first one. What I'm just trying to say is that it's very noticeable, like, when there's, like, the human faces against the green screen. It's very, typical green screen effect. So, anyways, all I'm trying to say is that it was noticeable, but that doesn't take away from how good it looks, though. Like, God, how artistically different it was compared to every other MCU movie, right? Like, I don't know, it was just so fucking colorful. The visuals popped. It was so much fun to see color in an MCU movie, because we all know about the whole, like, the very bland, very dead colors the MCU is kind of known for some of their movies. Even though one of my favorite MCU movies, the Civil War, that one's probably the most atrocious example of it, because that movie is just, in recent memory, like thinking about it right now, it was just very gray. Lots of the fight scenes were just very, it looked so bland to look at. But this movie, oh my god, it was so beautiful. So many fun choices, to, like, show just how mad this multiverse is. Like, the scenes, like, where they're, jumping from multiverse to multiverse, and the transitions from, like, different art styles and just different, it was just, God, it was so unlike anything I could have expected from Marvel, And I keep saying that because, yeah, no, we've all seen this kind of stuff before in, like, these kind of movies. Like, for a good example, Everything Everywhere All at Once, that had a good, that one definitely had better CGI. And I think it's because it had a lot more, like, I don't know, the way they went about it looked a lot better. Probably because it wasn't as outlandish as this one was, because it doesn't have as big a budget, as Marvel does. But yeah, no, so I guess that's a kind of a thing that you may want to get into, like, which one's better as a multiverse movie. Well, I mean, obviously, Everything Everywhere, Because the thing with Doctor Strange, this one, is that it's substance over... It's style over substance, I'm sorry. It's where it's so nice to look at, just to watch, but the story itself is very bland, it's very easy. I say that, like, the structure, of, like, just having to help Chavez, American Chavez, the child, having to help her, escape Scarlet Witch, That's basically the plot. There's not really a lot of development, per se, for Doctor Strange. It's more so he's just the main character. You have to follow him throughout the thing, like, the movie. And, it shows him dealing with, wanting what, you know, um, wanting what, fuck, Scarlet Witch, Wanda. Almost forgot her name. That's horrible. But kind of Doctor Strange kind of wanting what Wanda wants, but being the better, like, again, it kind of showed two sides of the coin of, like, wanting what you want, but again, for the greater good, you choose to be selfless, So it's kind of what Doctor Strange's, I guess, character arc was for this. But other than that, though, not a lot of, like, deep stuff. I will say, though, as a final character arc for our Wanda, because from what it looks like, I really hope they kind of keep this, okay? Because, after all the deaths in the movie, and there's a lot of deaths, like a lot, and it's great. But our Wanda, to have her go out like this, I think is the best for her because she ends up killing herself to, fix her mistakes, as many as they are. The one thing, I was talking to my friend about this, the one thing that I love about MCU, because, there are a lot of MCU, Marvel, naysayers out there, and talking about, oh, they ruined cinema, look at all that. Look, I will admit, MCU, Disney, they definitely hold a huge power in, the movie industry, television, like, having so many movies get kicked out because an MCU movie came out is never nice to look at, But here's the thing, though, okay? The MCU has done the impossible, all right? Like, forever. There will never be anything like this ever again, And I'm saying it's like this because it is such an insane thing to think we have been going on this now for almost plus 20 years, all right? And they still are coming out with amazing movies that are building on top of the already building story. Sorry. That is amazing. It's a miracle. It's magic, The fact that we're still, because again, after Endgame, I literally was Marvel fatigue, because I've always loved Marvel, the comics and whatever. I'm not as super knowledgeable about the comics as a lot of other people are, but I think I have a lot more, knowledge, than the common, superhero, person. So, I enjoyed the comics, reading them, all that kind of stuff. So seeing all this happen, the Marvel Renaissance, seeing that happen, and just seeing that even after Endgame, the thing that we were waiting for that entire time, the fact that we're still getting quality content is astounding to me. 'Cause I was done, but then WandaVision came along, and here's the thing, even though WandaVision, and I'll, if I feel like it, I'll do a review about it, but even though, here's a quick review of it, even though WandaVision, I think, had probably, out of all the Marvel TV shows, it had probably the most consecutive good episodes, in my opinion, except for the finale. I can't see. Do I have, a thing in my... I think, because I don't like the finale at all. What this movie did is kind of what I wished WandaVision had done, which was keep Wanda the villain, the villain, the hero of her own story. I think that would have been perfect. They didn't have to really bring in Agatha. It was a good twist, but it was not needed. It definitely detracted from the better storytelling. But anyways, I'm just saying that WandaVision, the fuck was I going? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's kind of late at night, and I'm like, oh my god, I just ate, so I'm spitting all over the place. I think I can't even see it though. But okay. I'm just trying to say that the thing about the MCU now is that they're able to, make these character arcs as long as they want because they no longer have to worry about, if this movie will make money. Because the thing about the MCU is that it's made a name for itself, Because companies will not do certain things because they don't believe in the product, and they don't believe that it'll make them back money. So why go this route then? But here's the thing, though. Because the MCU is so powerful, so every single character that is in these, movies have the potential to have great character arcs. So seeing Wanda go from a typical, I just didn't really care about her character when she was first introduced, because, she wasn't that interesting, oh, I'm sorry your brother died, I'm sorry everything happened. WandaVision happened, and it just hit a nerve. It was so, at the right time, it was so good, and it introduced the entire... Oh, now I see where I was going with this. It introduced the entire concept of the multiverse. Now, DC did do this first, which I think is kind of funny and sad, the fact that DC was always trying to copy Marvel, and it never worked, and they stopped doing that, and then they actually did. I looked it up. It was a couple of years difference, but they were the first ones in the movies and television stuff to introduce multiverse stuff, Yeah, a little bit was hinted at in Far From Home, but it wasn't serious, right? But no, DC, they did kind of make it more official, and yet Marvel comes in, does that idea better, and now they're running with it, and DC is here trying to play catch up again. It's just God, they just can't win. Even when they come up with the idea first in the Marvel in like the movie stuff, they still can't win. I'm sorry, but no, the introduction of the multiverse stuff was just such a fucking great idea, and I don't know who was in the office when they were coming up like, wait, how can we top Endgame? How can we top the Infinity Stone saga? Let's bring in the multiverse. Like, that was just ballsy and amazing, though. Like, just wow. I am just... So, having all that happen, and now seeing where Wanda's at, where she ended up at, I just think her character arc definitely is probably one of the most interesting and most engaging ones out of the entire MCU. Even though a lot of people joke around and kind of like downplay Scarlet Witch, kind of being like, oh wow, she's just sad because she lost her fun toy, Vision. Here's the thing though, it's like Wanda, she was growing up. It was horrible for her and her brother Pietro, like, it fucking sucked for them. For most of it, they were fucking captured, and tortured in that facility, before the Avengers came and accidentally freed them. Well, not they didn't free them, they kind of were able to get on their own. But, she was going through hell, and then she finally found one good thing in Vision, and Vision was like the most perfect thing that could have ever been placed in her lap, but that right there was the instigator for her madness being able to not be controlled. Because when you give someone that perfect and that amazing, and you literally snatch it from them, they're gonna go mad. Anybody. And she was already fucked up in the brain, so just, again, it doesn't justify her actions, but that's why she is, and I love characters that, start from here and go to the bottom. I don't know what this says about me, but I just really like seeing a character just start to slowly descend into madness, Walter White, great example from Breaking Bad, my favorite show of all time. Perfect example of, the Breaking Bad, from the start and down to the bottom. And because of their choices and because of their, their self excuses, for why they're doing it, a good writer makes it where you kind of understand, but what they're doing is wrong, because you're obviously not a bad person, so what they're doing is wrong in every sense of the word. But again, because of certain perspectives, you can kind of understand, unfortunately, So for Wanda, I understand why she went completely mad in WandaVision, and controlled an entire, town against her will. And it's sad, because she just wanted to be loved again, because she finally had it, and it was taken from her, and for nothing, right? At the end, her killing Vision literally did nothing. It did nothing. Thanos still got the stone, and Vision just died. So it's very sad. And I love, though, that in this movie they made her the main villain. That was such a perfect little twist that you could kind of see in the trailers, but they never, actually said it outright, and I like how they didn't do that. But yeah, I loved that she was the main villain. Here's the thing. A lot of people talk about sometimes the Mary Sue character trope, of having I don't know if it means female or just any kind of character, but mostly when it comes to main female characters, making them incredibly strong for no reason, and then they just take out any kind of obstacle. Here's the thing. I think Scarlet Witch in this movie was OP as fuck, right? She was insane, but it worked so well, and because she is like that. It's not something they just pull out of their ass that she's incredibly powerful. No. She is that powerful, and it was so fucking nice just to see her go wild and just do whatever she wanted. It was so satisfying, and I loved watching it. It was so much fun. So yeah, Scarlet Witch is the one character to when everyone brings it up, oh, you just don't like seeing powerful females, no. I think a lot of times it's just they're not really written well, unfortunately. I think it's going through a little bit of a rant, but I personally believe, unfortunately, I have no idea why, but writers for some reason just have such a fucking horrible time writing good female characters. It's not that hard. You just don't think of them as female characters. You just write them as an actual character, you know? It's just because so many times they think like making a female character strong, but only strong. You can't show them any weaknesses or whatever. You can't show them being like, you know, like a failable or fallible or whatever, you know? Like you can't show them being like that because then it looks bad. Like, no! Like, it's just, that's not the case. I want to see my character broken, struggle, and possibly if they're the hero, want to see them rise from that, you know? Scarlet Witch is not the hero, so she's not gonna rise up from this. She falls, but in the end, she does see the error of her ways. But yeah, it's like, because Scarlet Witch is probably the best, for right now, it's kind of the best female character in the MCU, because Black Widow is fun, but her movie did absolutely nothing for her. It was kind of a waste, my opinion. Again, that's another review for later, but yeah, they fucking wasted that movie. It was fine, it was fun, but a story that did not need to be told. Now, for this one, Scarlet Witch, yeah, she's a broken character, and it's so refreshing to see that. You know, a powerful, strong female character is not that hard to write. You just need to know how to write a character, and I just think so many people tend to just be so afraid of, like, you know, not making a statement, I guess, you know? And the more we just stop making statements about gender stereotypes, you know, the more we'll just be able to actually accept that, you know, a woman can do just as good as a man, but just stop saying it so much. You know what I mean? Like, just show it, don't say it. Don't just fucking keep saying it out loud, because then it just makes everyone more like, oh, like, what the fuck? Like, the biggest thing for that one was, like, in Avengers Endgame, the whole, like, the girls scene in that, it was so on the nose of what they were doing, you know? And so everyone, when they see that, because here's, again, you have to approach it in a smarter way, too. It's like when you're in such a lazy approach, like, oh, fuck, you're just showing us all the, you know? I don't know, I'm just dumb. I mean, I'm dumb. I just know that it's possible to write good female characters like Wanda, you know? And it works so well. And she was great in this movie. Absolutely phenomenal. Also, and I'm going over time again. I thought I wasn't going to go this long, but I am. Fucking the Illuminati. Okay. I gotta say this. Did not expect them not to do Iron Man. Because in the trailers, you see all the robots, you know? And I thought for sure, oh, that's Tony Stark's. I saw all the fucking rumors about it, you know? That it was going to be the Invincible or the superior Iron Man suit with, like, the, you know, it has, like, the mouth open, you know? What, like in the trailers, no, it's Captain Marvel. And I like how my friends were saying this about me, because I was saying it's, in every universe, I guess, Steven Madison is not like Captain Marvel in the movies. Because I did not like her in this movie. She was just... It was a disappointment, you know, because I'm kind of like, you have Professor X, you have Reed fucking Richards, played by John fucking Krasinski, all right? I think I said his name right. You have that guy in here. You got Black Bolt, my man Black Bolt, Peggy Carter, Captain Carter in here. You have Captain Marvel. They almost had it, you know, I just... Not gonna see, now that is kind of where I'm like, did they just do that just to kind of like even out like the male and female stuff? Because in the original team, it's, you know, Iron Man and Namor the Submariner, I believe, that's rounds out the team of what that was not in the movies. So I'm kind of like, did they just do that just to put more girls in the team? I don't know, because Captain Marvel was just a letdown. Even her death scene was a letdown. Like, here's the thing, Black Bolt. Fucking has his mouth taken away and he screams and blows up his brain. Fucking wild. Reed Richards turns into fucking Play-Doh spaghetti shit and dies and explodes. Amazing. Peggy Carter, her fucking shield cuts her in half. Blood everywhere. Amazing. What happens to, Captain Marvel? Gets hit by a statue. I was like, what? I was like, that was the last one you showed, too. It's just, yeah, and then she gets flown into the statue, falls on the ground, Scarlet Witch is gonna go boop, and gets smushed by a statue. Yeah, that was just like, so your introduction was lame, and your send-off was lame. Should have been Tony Stark, I'm sorry. Maybe they thought it was too soon, or they couldn't get anyone good enough to play Tony Stark, but that would have been a perfect lineup then, you know? That would have been really fun, because, you know, she could have done some fun stuff like manipulating his armor and like squishing him inside. You know, that would have been fun. That would have been a cool death scene. But yeah, I just don't like Captain Marvel in any iteration in the movies. Probably fun in the comics. She's been fun in the comics, I think, you know, recently. But yeah, in the movies, I just don't like her, and I don't think I ever will. They just do not do her right at all. They never will. I'm sorry, that's my opinion about that. But yeah, I will say, though, I was very upset, though, that in the trailers, they officially kind of just let out that Professor X was in there. Like, everyone knew that was him. But then they even confirmed it even more when they even talked about the Illuminati. I'm like, are you name-dropping this? Like, yeah, I know not everyone's in the comics, but for people that are like me, then I was like, oh, what they're... Because then they own Fox, whatever, so you know they're going to bring in Mr. Fantastic. And I was like, oh, okay. That would have been so wild. And then unfortunately I saw it in like a thumbnail, so I was like, you know, like, spoiled of that. So unfortunately, yeah. But it's like kind of like, man, like I knew they were gonna be in there then. So it's like, what the fuck? You shouldn't have said that then. You know, that would have been a really amazing surprise. Like, it was fun seeing Black Bolt, though, because even though I knew he was going to be in it, I didn't know they were going to actually bring in the guy from the Inhumans TV show that no one remembers, because I don't remember it. But I do know that guy. They brought him back for that, and good for him. He looks great, and I was fucking really excited about him. But yeah, I just love, though, how Scarlet Witch fucking destroys all of them, showing us, again, why she is probably, again, fucking that whole fucking campaign shit for Captain Marvel, you know, calling her the strongest Avenger, you know, Scarlet Witch has you beat, man. Come on. It even shows right here. Like, I hate that they have a strong female character in there, Scarlet Witch, you know? And she is the strongest Avenger. I'm sorry, she is. She's amazing. I will stand here right now and say Scarlet Witch in the MCU is the strongest character from what we just saw right there. She is insane. She took on all those guys one time. And it was amazing. And it was beautiful. But yeah, I loved also all the death scenes in here. It's so everywhere because it's the multiverse. You can do whatever you want. You can kill whoever you want. Because in the end, it doesn't matter because they're in a different universe. So I love that about this movie. Sam Raimi. Oh, I gotta fucking give props to the god, the man, Sam Raimi. Okay, look. I'm a big fan of his. Not from just Spider-Man. You know, like, I watched the Evil Dead stuff. So I know how he first started out. I haven't watched every fucking movie he's done, right? But I've seen a good enough of his horror stuff to understand where he is, you know, how his style is. I fucking love that man. He has a beautiful, campy horror style that is so perfect on the line, you know, of like the scary and campy that you just, again, Evil Dead 2 is the best example of the scary and campy stuff that he does. And it's just so good. And his team up with, you know, Bruce Campbell and Danny Elfman is just always a pleasure just to watch on the screen. Bruce Campbell fucking, again, always fucking nails whatever he's in. Danny Elfman's score is just fucking emotional and beautiful and, you know, scary and, oh, beautiful. But again, Sam Raimi's, you can feel the magic touch of Sam Raimi in this movie. It's so good. The horror shit in this movie is great. Wow, he pushed that PG-13 rating perfectly. I think, personally, my favorite scene in this entire movie has got to be Undead Doctor Strange. You know, the zombie version of him. I loved how they incorporated that, and when he's able to control the souls of the dead and make it into his cape, I was like, oh! Oh, that looks so fucking good, because the souls of the dead, the hands are, you know, reaching out, and they're creaking, and they're aching, you know, and they're clawing while he's flying with it, like a spirit raven in the air. It was just, oh god, it was so fucking cool to look at. And Zombie Doctor Strange, which is it was so fucking good. And my friend also mentioned this too, that again, classic campy Sam Raimi, though, having the zombie Doctor Strange give a heartfelt emotion moment to Chavez, which was beautiful. I fucking love that. Yeah, that was my favorite scene in the entire movie. Even though there's a lot of good scenes in the movie, but yeah, other than that, though, you know, really just a fun movie, right? Again, as I said, the main storyline, you know, is very just like, oh, get her to, you know, save the kid. Don't let the kid get stolen, you know. Not a lot of, like, deep personal conflicts, whatever, because it really isn't that big for Doctor Strange, and they lightly touch on it with Scarlet Witch, maybe not mediumly light, I guess, not heavy-handed lessons with Scarlet Witch, but just enough, and they kind of didn't do much with Wong's character, they kind of just, I don't know, I felt like he was kind of wasted, I guess, but they couldn't have really done much with him, with how the story was going. So it is what it is with that one. It's just, yeah. But everything else though, yeah. It's more of a style movie. Just how it looks, which is, God, I could watch it again and again. Like this will be a movie because I actually have probably seen the first one a handful of times. I don't know. I just never felt the need to rewatch it all over again. But this one, oh God, I will watch this again and again and again just for how good it looks. And just again for Sam Raimi. Oh, the fucking ending also. It was so fuck. Cause I was like, how are they gonna end this? And they end it like a classic B movie horror stuff where he's just walking down the street. He's like, oh, nothing happened after I used the Dark Lore magic thing. And it cuts to black. I was like, that felt. My friend. I saw it with a bunch of friends, but one of my friends, she said that it was kind of anticlimactic for her. But for me, I saw that was a Sam Raimi ending right there, and I was like, oh, that's just perfect. Like it couldn't have ended a more perfect way, But yeah, I just I can't think of anyone else who's more deserving of this kind of movie than Sam Raimi, because he's always perfect. With how he can just push the boundaries of PG-13 but still keep it in that area. Absolutely phenomenal job of keeping it in that rating and still, because this movie is pretty dark for a PG-13 family Marvel superhero movie. Like it goes places, very demonic. It's fucking wild how much they were able to do with this. Because Doctor Strange has always been a very occult character, where it's very very just not for everybody, but and they did it with this one, and I have mad respect for them. They went that far with this movie, because they could be like, oh, we can't go too far because we don't want to offend anybody, but no, they went far. They went wow with this one. But yeah, I don't know where it ranks yet, honestly, for me yet, but it's definitely in my top 5 for sure, for top 5 MCU movies. It was just a fucking blast, man. Stay for the last credit scene. Wait, why am I saying it? I just spoiled the entire movie. So yeah, this is a funny little scene at the very, very ending. I fucking loved it. Bruce Campbell, because Strange was kind of mad at him, so he made it where he punched himself for like weeks on end. The very ending, he's like this, oh, I stopped. Hey, what are you doing? It's over. Cut the black. It was like, that was a better version of the whole Captain America's like, so, you waited until the very end for nothing. That little scene from, I forgot, I think it was from like the first Homecoming movie for Spider-Man. It's like that kind of joke where you waited all the time for nothing, but this one was just kind of like, hey, it's over. It was just so fucking good. But yeah, yep, definitely went longer like last time. I didn't think I would go into this that much, but yeah, again, to summarize my thoughts again, just fucking just so artistically, I was drooling at the mouth of how good it looked. The colors, the everything, how artistically different the shots were. The transitions. Everyone was talking about the transitions, about how bad they were. No, classic Sam Raimi transitions. Okay, I'm sorry. They were just so fucking cheesy and well done. Again, he's a legend. Because people can do cheesy shit, and fail. And it looks horrible. But what he does, it fucking works. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the way he does it. Some people just have a talent for that, and you can just accept it, and it's fun. But yeah, just a really visually oh, God, fucking love this, how it looks. Music was, one of the best, honestly, too. Not memorable. I don't have, any tunes in my head, but it really added to the movie. Had to put the extra meat on that bone, you know what I'm saying? Again, the character, stuff was fun. Scarlet Witch is the standout, in my opinion. She's the best thing in this movie, by far. Great action sequences, great, tension. Oh, I forgot. Last thing I gotta say, the fucking evil Doctor Strange and good Doctor Strange, their fight and the whole, musical note thing. That also, my second favorite probably scene. That was so much fun to watch that. again, just have fun while you're making a film like this, because you're free to do whatever you want. And last thought on this too, this is probably the most perfect movie to ever exist. You know why? Because everyone can complaining like, oh, how come they didn't do this, or oh, if they just didn't do it like this, they were dumb. The best comeback, it's a multiverse movie, so literally, what you think the character would do, it doesn't matter, because this isn't probably that character then. This is a completely different character. That Black Bolt is not your Black Bolt, alright? Your Black Bolt is a different Black Bolt. So fucking everyone wins, everyone loses. That's why this is the best movie of all time. Doctor Strange, sweep. Fuck Morbius. There was one guy that said Morbius is better, though. I have no idea what he was smoking, but anyways. Thank you for watching. I'm done. 30 minutes out. I fucking love this movie. Perfect movie. 10 out of 10.